Welcome back to YellowCard Vanguard. I'm your host, Toku, from It's Toku TV on Twitch. It has been a long while, and Clan Collection 5 and 6 have already been out for quite some time, but I figured this is going to be a mainstay of the channel, so I've taken some time out of my failing job search to give you, the viewers, what you want. My based, red-pilled, and Replica takes on the new cards and supports for Clan Collections 5 and 6. Once again, we need to preface the video as well as the rest of the series by letting you know that these lists are made at face value using my skills of card evaluation. They will need playtesting to fine-tune, but I hope they will serve as a good reference point for filthy net deckers to piggyback off of. Welcome back to Clan Collection Cores. Next on the docket for Clan Collection Cores is another favorite clan of mine, Oracle Think Tank. Now, my favorite part of OTT is the Shinto mythos aesthetic, with Tsukiyomi and Susanoo. But I'm a sucker for a good girl gone bad, so Fromage Reverse definitely ticked off some boxes for me. I also think that Battle Sisters has the best base for the V Premium format, in that the support, a full set of 3 cards mind you, that came from Clan Collection 5 really helped. Let's introduce the new sisters, and later we can kiss her. That was bad, I'm sorry. Heretic Battle Sister Fromage Reverse. What's the reverse of cheese? I don't know either, but I do know that Fromage Reverse is a bad bitch about to get down. While on the Vanguard circle, during your turn, all of your Battle Sister units gain 5k for each of your locked cards. And an axe skill, counterblast 1 and discard any card to look at the top cards of your deck, equal to the number of unique Battle Sisters you have, stack any on top, bottom the rest. Then, you can also lock 1 or more of your unique Battle Sister names to draw a card for each you lock. My favorite part about this card is that it's not restricted to your opponent being grade 3. Not restricted to not writing this turn, and not restricted to having a grade 3 in soul. While yes, it is restrictive on needing board, Battle Sisters is not shy of being able to plus a large amount with its in-engine cards. I don't think it's out of the question to be able to at minimum scry at least 4 cards and draw at least 2 each turn that you resolve Fromage Reverse. Our new grade 2 is Battle Sister Mocha, another familiar face to the old guard. Has both a strong effect when wrote upon, but also a strong effect off of the Vanguard circle. When wrote upon, you can Soul Blast 1 to check the top 2 cards of your deck, add 1 to the hand, and stack the other on top or bottom. And a continuous effect that while you have 3 or more unique Battle Sister units, Mocha gains 5k power and 5k shield. Then, if your hand has 4 or more cards, it gains another 5k. So with just 1 other Battle Sister rearguard, Mocha is already sitting at 14k and 10k intercept. With how common it is for Battle Sisters to have a large hand, it would be rare to see her at anything under 19k. She also has a guaranteed +1 if you manage to write into her, since it's not restricted to picking up Battle Sister names, but rather any card. Good card. Finally, our grade 1, Battle Sister Cocoa. Another new grade 1 that is our ideal ride target. When she is rode upon, you can call her to rear. And while on the rearguard circle, you can tap her to scry the top card of your deck, but if you put it onto the bottom, you can buff a unit by 3k. Just a good ride overall that gets you a +2 board, but also helps confirm your next drive. A costless way to proc a lot of your Battle Sister skills that checked for if you checked your deck this turn. There's very little more to ask from Mocha, just a good card. With our new cards introduced, let's take a look at the list. So to start off, I want to define the win con of our deck. With the introduction of Fromage Reverse's massive power buff, we can give all of our remaining unlocked Battle Sisters 15k power. Normally, one would think that this is a 15k buff to the front row, but what this deck looks to do instead is to use this to buff a column by 30k. Our final turn board looks to be Fromage Reverse on the Vanguard circle, after a reride, to use her effect to lock 3 units, a unit behind the Vanguard and a column. And on the other column will be Battle Sister Triple, boosted by Battle Sister Casata. This comes out to being an 82k 3 crit at minimum with PG restrict. Certain things can change this value, such as choosing Protect 2 or having multiple Panettones that you've used over the turn. So knowing our win con, let's go ahead and build towards it. We know that we want to be on Fromage Reverse at all times, so we're going to start obviously with 4 copies. We're going to also run 4 copies of Triple as our pinch hitter, our very own Hamio at home, if you will. Now we're only going to run 3 copies of Casata rather than 4, and that's because with respect to Fromage Reverse needing different names, Casata not having a method of being able to plus could be considered a demerit. We do have 4 copies of Torias, however, which is 99% of the time going to be only 5k smaller than Casata, but also provides almost guaranteed plus to hand on play. Because Trifle wants us to Soul Blast a grade 3 to get the guard restrict, we do want to run the original Fromage as well. Now, as stated before, we would always want to be on Fromage reverse anyways, but having Fromage as a backup initial ride, but also for the fact that she draws 2 when placed on the rearguard circle as well. She is probably the plussing rearguard of choice. I've also chosen to run 2 copies of Panettone to fuel the soul, as a lot of cards do burn through soul. Each of the ride line, if you successfully ride through it, is technically a Soul Blast, with Triple and Fromage needing Soul Blast as well, Panettone being able to fuel Soul, but at the same time being able to buff the next trigger an extra 10k helps going for lethal on that final turn. In the rest of our deck, we run full playsets of Mocha and Cocoa as our ideal ride targets. Getting the perfect ride line as we go from 0 to 3 nets us an extra +2, which helps in the number of units we need for Fromage reverse. In our last 4 slots of the deck, we go for 2 copies of Macaron, as she will always be 19k. She will help us push our opponent into lethal range early. And finally, 2 copies of DaBaby Let's Go, since our deck does counterblast a lot, but Soul Blast a lot as well. Oracle Gemini being able to perform both tasks for us in Counter Charge and Soul Charge is very much wanted. Going to our trigger line, I've opted to do 10 crits, 2 Sentinels, and 2 Helions, and 2 Vanilla Heals. Some important notes is that 4 of these crits must be Battle Sister Ginger, and the Vanilla Heals must be Battle Sister Brioche because of that name restriction. I also chose to go for a 2-2 split on Sentinels rather than 12 crit because there will be some matchups where the extra 5k power from the Protect 2 will come up more than the extra crit, and I want to open to those options where we will be able to have the Draw Sentinels do PG in those matchups. As for other options that could be run, one of the cards I'm very much considering is Battle Sister Choquette. This would probably take Macaron's slot as a method of being able to find extra copies of Fromage Reverse to rewrite into, or to cheat a heal onto the top if you choose to play more Helions. Apart from the inclusion of Choquette as well as trigger ratios, I don't believe that there is too much that can or should be changed about the list. Maybe more Panettones to relieve the soul cost. Similar to Jewel Knight, this is also another deck that runs the best cards in its given archetype. To conclude, Oracle Think Tank for the V Premium format has been in a sort of limbo as each clan collection supported a different deck. Clan Call 1 and 2 was for Tsukuyomi, Clan Call 3 and 4 for Witches, and finally 5 and 6 for the Battle Sisters. But after the release of the Mocha Cocoa ride line, as well as the new finisher potential of Fromage Reverse, I think Battle Sisters will be the one to hold the throne for OTT and might even become a real potent threat that looks to replace a terror that was Hamiel before she was banned. In any case, that is it from me for this episode of Clan Collection Cores. Be sure to subscribe to the channel for more content like this and leave a comment down below because every little bit helps the channel. This has been Toku from YellowCard Vanguard. Toku out.